Hey, what's up everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna do a fun project today, something that I've wanted to do for a long time. Now, if you are following me on Instagram, you saw that we just got done with a project where I did a fake timber frame end truss to get that real cool look with some 6x6 cedar, and it really inspired me to learn more about timber frame. I reached out to my followers and I had somebody come back to me, Gibson Timber Frames. Thank you so much, man, out of Canada. Check them out. They're over on Instagram. I'll try to put a link down below to their feed. They do some killer stuff, but he put together a set of plans for me to practice with. And this is gonna be a timber frame sawhorse. What we're gonna use, this is some 4x4 Doug fir that I picked up at Menards. I also got some 5/8 oak dowels. Other than that, really the only thing I needed was a good set of chisels. So let's get into it. Ooh, I need some safety glasses. Let's go ahead and get these first ones cut. I'm gonna be rocking out on some new IsoTune prototypes. I don't even know if I'm supposed to even have these visible to people, but my luck, by the time I edit it and get it out, I could probably buy these. 36 will give me a 24. Then I need to do 3 24s. I got my 2 tops. Then I need 4 30s, which I'll get 3 30s out of 1. I'll get another 30, which will leave me 66 inches, which will get me 2 24s. Why do I have so much lumber? I seem to have plenty of lumber, so. Oh yeah, that's right, I got 1 extra just in case I messed up. All right, I think we got all of our pieces cut. Now, the real fun begins, the creation of the joinery. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I've got the stretcher, which is the 3-foot piece, and that's gonna go between the 2 legs. And really all I have to do, this should be one of the easier parts, is cut a tenon on each end, and that is gonna slip into the mortise on each leg. 1 inch by 3 inch. Now also, since I'm gonna be cutting it this way, I'm just gonna kind of give myself a line on the end. Let's go ahead and clamp this down. So I'm gonna set the depth so that I can't go any further. And I wouldn't mind being just a little shy. We're gonna go straight down this guy. Hope our cut is square. You know, out of the simplicity of things, I'll get another saw for my 1-inch cuts. That way I can leave this guy set up for 3 inches, but I don't have to keep switching it back and forth. All right, there's my stretchers. Those 2 are done. Still have to do the 5/8 holes, but I'll wait and do that all at once. Now we're gonna go ahead and do, well, I guess these are the tops. So you can see where the legs are gonna come up and go through. So this is not as much visual work, but I think the hard part is gonna be, I've gotta make the mortise in here. That'll be the fun part. That's what the chisels will come into place. 6 inches from each end, we have a 3.5 inch slot. So we're gonna go ahead and mark 6 and 9.5. We're gonna go ahead and router this out. If I go ahead and put this at 0, should be able to go down to 1/2 inch. Now I got a nice clean area. Router makes it darn near perfect. You'll notice that I stayed just off of my line, and that was on purpose. When I go ahead and I put these guys in, see how that's nice and tight? That is my goal. Oh, when did I change the depth? 3.5. Well, I guess I'm going 3.5 on this side now. Stupid Kyle. Come on, man. Well, there is my, I guess, 3.5-inch side. Now this side I only want to do 2.5. And I'm sure if you guys are woodworkers and you're watching this, you might be like, Kyle, what in the heck are you doing with that chisel? And I don't know. I don't use chisels, okay? So whatever. This is a learning experience for me, but that worked out pretty good. Oh my God. I got like so lucky you guys don't even know. You notice how this guy is opposite this guy? Well, that's how it's supposed to be, but I didn't even plan it. I knew I had to do that, but I forgot to check even, and it just worked out. Talk about some luck on my side. Next, I've got to make a slot for my cross brace to go into. So we're going to be 2.5, 10.25. So from here, we're going to be 10.25, and then another 3.5 from there. So 13.75. That was only supposed to be a 1/2 inch. I just messed up. All right, that was a mistake. I used my circular saw to make my outside cuts, but it was set up for the 1 inch, which was for those 10-inch. So this is just a set of sawhorses, and it is for practice. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and bore out a bunch of holes in here. From there, I'll chisel it all clean. I won't go through all the way no matter what, because what I really want to do is I'll flip this over, get it marked exactly where I want it to come out, and then I'll punch some holes through so I don't accidentally go on an angle and kind of go out one way or the other. It'd be nice if I had a drill press. I think we're going to try to flip this over, mark where this is. Well, look at that. I got a hole. Now that I got that done, I got to clean it up, not go too crazy with it. And also, I think I'm going to start on the outside here. That way I can kind of do a good job of making sure I stay within my lines. But at the same time, go out a little bit on the inside. Oh man, I think I could probably get that in there. So what I'm gonna do now that I think I can do that, I'm gonna flip this over and I'm gonna clean it out from this side. This is still so cool. I've never done this before. Oh man, we're getting there. Let's see how close we are. Oh man, I think I cleaned that out. And I think we're gonna push this thing through. There you go. It is not perfect by any means. And this might be premature here, guys, but I don't care, man. I am pumped to do this. Okay, here we go. This is gonna be the first test. think that's gonna go. Look at that. Look at that. Awesome. Is it perfect? No, not even close. Did it go in? Yeah, it's pretty darn cool. That is awesome. For a set of sawhorses, I'm sure it's gonna be great, and it's great practice. So that was my first mortise and tenon I've ever done. I just learned a ton. I'm definitely gonna figure out how to do this a little bit better, but I'm pretty happy. All right, let's go ahead and make up the other leg so we can make our frame up and we get this side hooked in as well. That was easy, that was easy. Time for this guy. It's gonna be tight. That is number 2. Much better joints. The start of my timber frame benches, but dang, that's gonna be pretty cool. Okay, this is pretty cool. I mean, I know that this is very simple and it's just a stupid set of sawhorses, but I have been wanting to do something like this, just play around with some of these joints. Look at this. That is cool. No fasteners. It's just good old-fashioned joinery. Same thing there on the bottom. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's pretty darn good. Pretty darn tight. All right, so new day for me. You'll notice new pants. I didn't have time the last time I was here to work entirely on this project, but I got it to the point where I've got the main base structure done, and now all I have to do is place the top. Get a couple mortises in here. Let's get it done. I'm excited to just have this project complete. This is gonna be a blind mortise and tenon. I think that's the way you refer to it. It won't pop through the top. These guys should be a lot easier because I'm not as worried about the look of them. I want them to be a nice tight fit, but if I put the dowel through it, it's not gonna go anywhere. I can go a little bit more than 2.5 inches, but I don't wanna go much more than that because I don't wanna pop out the other side. Here we go. Now, I already know it's gonna go in pretty decent probably on one of these. This is the one I'll have to fight because it's spread apart just a little bit. We're just gonna give it a little elbow grease. Okay, line those up. Bring the Martinez in. Look at that. This is not, oh yeah, that'll go down all the way. That is pretty cool. That is a sturdy set of sawhorses. Now what we have to do is insert dowels so that none of this comes apart. Now, if I was a really good timber framer, I would have thought ahead. I would have pre-drilled everything so that now all I would do is just ram my dowels in there, and I could take it all apart. I could do that, but I don't really want to. So on this set of horses right here, what I'm gonna do, I've got a strap here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use the strap to tighten everything together. Wait, where am I at? Am I going here? It's like awkward height. So I'm gonna use this strap to tighten everything together, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and drill straight through the entire mortise and tenon joint, and then I'll drive my 5/8 dowel. I got some oak dowel. I figured harder the better. I don't know, that's just what I figured. I'll hopefully be able to take these straps off and it not go anywhere. So that's the goal. Let's see how it happens. The joints to look at, I believe, and they're not that bad on this side. This is pulled apart a little bit. Yeah, I think I've got the strap pretty tight, and it definitely closed these guys up pretty nice. All right, those two dowels are in. They went in pretty snug, so I'm assuming I'm good to let this go. I will try to do it slowly, but that's gonna be basically impossible. There's a lot of tension on here. All right, here we go. My joints still look pretty good. There we go. Oh yeah. Oh, Kyle. You amaze me. It's gonna be really hard to drill a hole right there with that stupid strap there. Well, that wraps up the timber frame sawhorse project here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I definitely had a great time. I learned a ton. I feel like if I made another set right now, they would be 10 times better, and I would probably be a lot quicker, so that's the way it goes. I hope you guys learned something from this, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure you go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, I do appreciate if you hit the subscribe button. 2020 is gonna be a crazy year for me on the building side. Really cool projects coming down the pipeline, and I will definitely bring you guys along for the ride and do as much as I can possibly. But if you've got a great idea for me for an awesome shop project, I'd love to hear it. Make sure you drop it down below in the comments. Otherwise, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and we'll see you on the next video. All right, so since these are sawhorses, let's go ahead and use them, and I'll show you all the tools that I used on this project. First thing we'll do is start with some circular saws. I've got my 7 1/4 rear handle, way overkill. It's just what I had handy. I set that at a 1-inch depth for my mortises. And then we used, this guy here was the 10 1/4 skill saw, super saw squatch. And this was great because it was able to do those one cut tenons, which were obviously, it made it really easy. So Don't really need these saws. You could use a hand saw if you really wanted to. I used my cordless Makita router. You guys saw what that was used for. It was to cut out the shoulders for where my mortise and tenons went together. I use this Bosch FlexiClick M18, and what's cool about this is that I can swap the heads out. So this one right here I was using, I just had the drill mount on, but you can also put a bunch of different stuff on this. Lots of power, good drill. Here we got some of my hand tools, a couple sets of clamps. Those were handy. I bought a set of Irwin chisels, nothing fancy, although they were probably the most, well, I think they were the most expensive chisel at the hardware store that I bought them, and they worked quite well. I could probably use a good sharpening. I use my M4 Martinez to really whack things, as well as this Estwing rubber mallet, which worked out really well without leaving any marring or dimpling. I got some hearing protection, and I do have this nice Diablo kit here with these Forstner bits. So I use those, as well as this guy, which I didn't like a ton just because it did not the cleanest job. And this is just one of those, I think this is an Irwin also. No, this is a Bosch Daredevil. Great for quick cutting of holes, but not clean. And then I use my Martinez Micro, which is just super handy, man, for some stuff like this. And then a tape measure, as well as a pencil somewhere. But this is the tool set that I used. I could get away with a lot different tools probably, but also I think this job would have been made a lot easier with the right tools, which maybe I'll invest in, and we'll do another timber frame project in the future. So thanks a lot, guys.